last person left in New York will be Hillary Clinton. Her and Bill. They can live inside there.
Well, by that time, he won't know.
They can live inside of their little bubble. That's great, you know. They can go to their shows. Hillary can fall into her meat locker van day and night. Mr. Mayor, you were there that day. What the hell happened?
I predicted it. I wasn't only there that day. I kept him there long enough so he'd be there when it happened. I predicted it.
Really?
I even recommended that he go because I thought she wouldn't be able to make it. I had been at 4 or 5 of those with her over the years, and she would always leave early, and she always looked shaky. And she was starting to talk funny for the last 2 weeks of the campaign. And I said, boss, why don't you come? And he said, well, I'll come, but I have to leave early. I said, just do me a favor. Just one time, leave when I tell you to. Just hang on. So 2 hours went by and she looked fine. And he came up to me, he said, I said, give us 15 more minutes. And I got my fingers crossed. And my head of security, John Houvain, was standing right where the same angle you have here. And he took a picture of it. And he ran up to me and he said, tell the boss not to leave. And it wasn't John Houvain, it was Bo Wagner or John, both of them together. And I said, boss, she just fell down going into the van, and we have word already because the cops were ratting on her like crazy. They hated her. She's not going to the hospital. He said, why would she go to the hospital? Because she doesn't want anybody to take a look at this. She's going to her daughter's apartment so they could get a phony doctor to come in and say, oh, she's okay. The people here, they don't care if they kill you. It's all about them anyway. And nobody had any loyalty to Hillary. I'm not sure Bill voted for her.
Oh man, yeah. You talk about how a death sentence is better than life in prison. I don't even know if there's a worse sentence for Bill Clinton after all the stuff that he's done than living with Hillary. I think that might be the worst life sentence there is.
The first one to tell me that was Dick Morris. One time I told Dick Morris way back, I said, I've been pretty tolerant on all this Clinton stuff because I don't like judging people. But this thing with a intern and in the Oval Office, that kind of, he looked at me and he said, you shouldn't speak unless you have to wake up every morning and see Hillary Clinton.
So you knew she was going to fall into the van.
I'm going to say Dick. I think Dick would stand up for that one now. He considered that one of his better lines. And he has no love lost between those two.
That's a wild story. I'm so glad I asked, Mr. Mayor. You knew Hillary was going to fall down because she couldn't stand out in the heat.
I did. This is honest truth. I knew she was going to fall down. And the minute she selected that event, which I've been at every year but one, I know that event and I know how hot it gets and how difficult it is to stand for that period of time still, and how she used to complain like hell about it because I could hear her in the background cursing at her people. And they would say, you got to stay longer. It's not going to look good. So and in that period of time, we were noting, the staff were noting to me, people who followed her around, she's looking wobbly. One of them told me a story where they thought she was going to fall into, she got so close to the people on the stage that it looked like she lost a little of her equilibrium. Now, you never know if these are true or not, but why not test them? It is a campaign. I mean, it is. And I've been involved in so many, 4 presidential campaigns and 3 mayoral campaigns. And then in 2010, I participated in 50 congressional campaigns when we took Pelosi out. That was satisfying. And I thought she was gone, man. I thought she was gone. And then she comes back like the monster from the monster movie where the hand keeps coming up. Right.
Like a vampire movie. She's looking like a vampire these days. That's another podcast, Mr. Mayor. That's another topic. I tell you, I'm glad I asked. I had no idea that you were behind that. Man, what a masterstroke.
I'm glad you do. I was referred to as doctor for a while after that. Jared
it was just dehydration. Well, was it really just dehydration, or was there something like really mentally off?
I think it was. She's not in the best of shape, and
Yeah.
and the heat was brutal. It was brutal. I mean, hey, one of us could have gone down. But I do think she was sick too. I think she had some kind of an infection because it had been observable for about a week. And we had our own people observing her because you never get a truthful explanation from the press, and movie shots or TV shots don't tell you everything. So we always had people following her. They had people following us. Mm-hmm. You want to see your opponent personally, so you can make the determination of what kind of shape they're in. Because campaigns lie.
Yeah. Man, that was a doozy, getting thrown into the meat locker like that. Their shoes falling off and everything. Goodness. All right. Well,
I got that approved by Bannon. Okay. Bannon loved it, and some of the best ideas with Bannon, like bringing all the Clinton mistresses to the debate right after the Billy Bush thing. And I walked two of them in. Steve gave me the honor of. He said, aren't too many that have the courage to walk them in. Why don't you walk them in? So I had two of them on my arm like this. And then Bill walks in and sees them. His first thought, I swear to God, was, I'm going that way.
Let's do a whole nother interview on these stories, Mr. Mayor. I'll come to Palm Beach and we'll sit and
That was a great campaign, by the way. The people in that campaign pulled off incredibly good things. They were very smart political people.
Yes, let's go. We'll light up some cigars and
And people underestimate Bannon as a political operative.
No,
they know him as an intellectual and a right-wing, thoughtful person. They don't realize he's a very, very strong political operative. He's got a lot of the old Roger Ailes talents.
Yes, he's a genius. That's right. Mr. Mayor, you're an absolute legend. We're so thankful for you and for your clarity.
I'm thankful for you, Benny. You reach a lot of people, and we need to do that. We need to make up for it, and we're starting to do it as a group.
Yes,
of which you're a key part. We may reach more people as a group if you define us a little broadly.
Standing on the shoulders of giants, it's always our honor. Mr. Mayor, with nearly 2 million followers right here on X, and also the Rudy Giuliani show that is available for you to watch every single week at 7 p.m. We thank you so very much, Mr. Mayor, for being on with us. And I have a feeling this is going to make a lot of news. So thank you.
I hope so.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Mayor.
you.